Who's ready for a Valentine's Day manicure? I'm ready. Let's do some Valentine's Day nail art with an ombre dip powder application underneath. Hi, my name's Ginger and I'm here with you from Webwench DIY Nails. I'm not a pro. I'm not a nail tech. I am a DIYer that just has fun painting, dipping, decorating her nails. This right here is a special little tool that I picked up off of Amazon, and let me tell you, I'm a little bit older than most of you, so it's been an eye-opener to use these magnifying glasses with a light so that I can see what I'm doing. They are awesome. If you're on the fence about them, get it. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Now this is a glow-in-the-dark red dip powder that I got from Cascade Colorworks on their closeout sale, and my oh-so-favorite Aurora from the same company. This foil is just beautiful. So I almost cried when that happened. Well, I might have screamed, but then I cried. And then I just said, you know what? Stuff happens, clean it up, move on. So that's what I did. I used double-dipped gel liquids for this manicure, starting with the base, and I encapsulate in builder gel. So what you're looking at here, just to give you an idea, are my natural nails with a builder gel overlay, which I've already filled in and all of that. And then I put 2 coats of peel base on my nails so that I can pop this off whenever I want to. I started with Onyx from Cascade Colorworks. It is a nice, solid, even layered black dip powder that does not stain my skin. I love it. So I start with my thumb, and this is going to be a very quick video. I'm going to go through, just dip powder applications are pretty normal at this point. If you're new and you haven't seen me do a dip powder application, I'll leave a link to one of those in the cards for you at the top right hand corner of the screen. After every coat of gel base with dip powder, I cure for 60 seconds. And we speed up a little bit just to show you, second coat, same as the first. And always curing for 60 seconds in between. And using a scrub brush to get the extra powder off the nail. I go in with the glow-in-the-dark red and do the same thing, same process, gel dip powder application. You use base coat, you drop the dip powder onto your nail instead of actually dipping. Don't dip into the powder with gel. You'll move the gel and make a mess. So I go through and I do that on all the nails. All my nail prep and everything had already been done. And the only thing I have to comment on these dip powders, and let me know if you've experienced something different with this particular color from Cascade Colorworks, but the smell. I don't know if it's the glow-in-the-dark stuff that they had to add to it, but the smell, I don't know that I'll be using it again because it smelled like fish oil or something. It was almost gagging me, honestly. And it doesn't really glow that great anyway, so really no loss. I just need a different red. At this point, I'm looking at the ombre, and I didn't really want a black to red ombre. I just wanted like a darker red fade kind of effect. So I do this with both of my layers, both of my coats of dip powder. And again, it's very subtle, and that's what I was going for. I just used a little ombre brush to scrub the black into the red after it was cured. And then I go in and do the same thing with the second coat. Even putting the red over the entire thing, you can still see the ombre underneath before I go in with the second coat of ombre. So it really depends on the effect that you want. If you want something very subtle, you can do it on the first coat and not on the second, and you'll still get a very, very subtle effect. I like subtlety on my nails because it's nowhere else in my existence. Yeah, subtlety is not my forte. So here we have the ombre effect. I was very happy with how that came out. And then I go and encapsulate everything in builder gel. Why do I do this? Because I am perfecting my shape and my contour. I'm practicing. And I want to give myself enough room to practice filing shape and contour. So I find that using builder gel to encapsulate my dip powders really gives me the room I need to get my shapes and my contours the way I want without filing into my color, which is something I used to do an awful lot. So builder gel has helped me fix that problem. After I cure the builder gel, you have to use alcohol to get the inhibition layer off or the sticky layer off. And then you're ready to file. And at this point, I think at this point I've filed, I've shaped, I've contoured, and I've buffed. So now I'm ready for my matte top coat so that I can do my nail art. I find doing nail art over a matte top coat is a lot easier because the gel paints that I use to do my nail art are shiny. And if you're trying to put shiny on top of shiny, it's harder to see. So I use matte. I always matte first. And there we go. The black looks awesome matte. Actually, this entire manicure, I could have, should have, would have stopped after the matte because this looked beautiful. And here it is. I love this look. Throwback to the 80s goth. I don't know. I just love this look right here. I would have been very happy to keep it this way. But I did want to do something for Valentine's Day. I'm not really into bunnies and flowers, as you've probably guessed by now. So I wanted to do something a little darker, something a little more subtle, not so in-your-face hearts and love. And I don't know, that just doesn't belong on my nails as far as I'm concerned. So I just wanted like a seasonal, thematic kind of look for my nails for Valentine's Day. So what I was putting on there, as you probably saw, was blooming gel. I used Beetle's blooming gel. And this is the first time I had attempted a rose, the blooming gel rose. So you'll see me go through a couple of iterations here where I add a little red, I let it spread, I see how it moves inside the blooming gel. And I can tell you right now, there were a couple layers that I didn't add to the video. I added a second coat of blooming gel, and I let the red spread in the same areas, but I tried to guide them with a dotting tool. I matted it, and then I didn't like that, and then I added top coat on top of that so it was shiny. And eventually you'll see that I went in and I added some glitter paint to certain areas of the rose. At this point, I kind of realized it doesn't really look like a rose. I need to practice that. So I'm going to just make it a design with some glitter and some shading, and you really have to use your imagination to see a rose in the final result. But regardless, if I didn't tell you that it was supposed to be a rose, it's still a kind of a cool abstract kind of design. We'll just leave it at that. Everything's a test, everything's an experiment. I'll get the rose down eventually. I just need to practice. Here I go in with some white to add some highlights to try to give it some depth. If I had better rose petal definition, I can see, I got to see how I would want to highlight and use the negative space and the highlight to create more of a realistic or shaded look for my rose. So again, I just took the opportunity to practice to see how the products mixed together and, how they reacted with each other. And here I had matted it, and I decided, no, I don't like that, so we're going to put shiny top coat on instead. I'm happy with the final result. It doesn't look like a rose, but I'm okay with that. The design itself is pretty cool. I forgot to hit record when I did the index finger, but that's okay because you would have just seen me fail completely at little tiny hearts connected by dots. So the dot design that I got is still pretty cool, but you can't even see my red hearts. And that's all right. They didn't come out that great anyway. On the ring finger, I decided to do my normal swoopy design that I just keep falling back into because I love it so much. I used some of the Aurora Foils dip in with just gel base. I made a shape and then I laid my finger in the Aurora. And then I used some red, just plain red. Mother Chucker, I think is the name of the red I'm using from Madame Glam. And I just kind of highlighted the Aurora with red so that, to keep in the Valentine's theme. And then I outlined in my Madame Glam's chrome, silver chrome paint, which I also love a lot. And there's my swoop design with, the ombre in the background. And after some trial and error, adding hearts to the middle finger and the pinky, I decided to just wipe those off because, as you know, if you don't cure it and you're painting with gels, you can just wipe it off without incident as long as you have a top coat underneath, like the matte top coat. So I decided, you know what, I have a problem usually with overdoing it, so I'm going to keep 2 nails plain, one just the ombre and one just plain black, because I do love this black. It's a nice dark opaque, no stain black that I love. So we have a very subtle design for Valentine's Day, but the best thing about this manicure in my eyes is my shape and my contour. I think I'm finally dialing in on a shape that I love for my left hand. And here we have the cuticle oil, the probably most important step, especially in the winter when your skin really dries out. Well, your cuticles dry out too. So to get that nice, clean, manicured look, you want to help your cuticle area calm down. Use your oils, rub it in. Do this daily. You will see a marked increase in the health of your nails. And here we go, the final look. I have to wipe the oil off my nails to get a nice picture for you, but there you have it. I have some pictures posted on Instagram if you want to check those out of this manicure. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ta!